One of the most important lessons that you can ever learn in life is this: your mind always wants to match your body. Here's what I mean by that. If you and I down 3 energy drinks really quickly, bam, 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 then our heart's gonna start to race, our body's gonna start to maybe even tremble, and we're gonna mimic physiological anxiety. And then once our body feels physically anxious, our minds will race to make up a story to match why we feel the way we do. In other words, let's say that you down those 3 energy drinks and your body is mimicking anxiety. Well, your mind will race to find the most fitting anxious story that will make sense of it all. Oh no, I forgot to send that email. Oh no, I forgot to take care of this. Oh, what about this? And whatever that story is will make sense out of why your body's feeling that way. And when you understand this, it's not enough. It's not enough to know this here, because this takes a lot of practice to implement. But what happens is this: once you're aware that your mind always wants to match your body and will race to make up a story, a narrative that fits how you feel, then the next step is not to run with that story. Hold on a second. It's as if we're challenging ourselves. Hold on a second. Is this really what I'm anxious about, or did I have too much caffeine? Let me step back and think. That's right, I had a lot of caffeine. This is an uncomfortable feeling. I don't like how I feel right now, but I know every emotion has a beginning, a middle, and an end, and I know this will pass. And by not creating a narrative, by not running with whatever anxious story your brain creates to match your body, you then lessen the amount of cortisol and excess adrenaline that's flowing through you. But to the contrary, if you don't do that, then what happens is this: you feel physiologically anxious, and then you race to make up a story to match. And then that story induces more cortisol, more adrenaline. Oh no, what if it really is this? What if I didn't do that? And that is the vicious cycle. So be mindful. The next time you have a feeling of anxiety, could be sadness. Maybe you're taking medication or something that produces a feeling that's down, or maybe you're taking something again that makes you might feel anxious, or maybe you feel agitated and irritable. And in that case, we have a tendency to make up anger stories. Think about how many times you've gotten into arguments with loved ones throughout your life when one or both of you was hungry. It's called hanger, right? It's the fun term for it, but it's reality. When you feel hungry, that happens in a part of your brain called the hypothalamus, which is centered in the middle of your emotional system in your brain, the limbic system. So it makes a lot of sense why when you're hungry, and the hypothalamus is responsible for hunger, thirst, body temperature, fatigue. So it makes a lot of sense why when you're in an argument with your loved one and it's late at night and you keep getting angrier and angrier, that you step back and say, hold on a second, let me go to bed. Let me go to bed angry and wake up in the morning. If we're still angry, we can keep fighting. But I can't tell you how many times throughout my career I've watched people save their relationship, get away from violence by sleeping on that anger, waking up the next morning and feeling better. Now, of course, I know many people will say, oh, never go to bed angry because you never know what could happen in the night. But what I have found, my lived experience working with people convicted of violent crimes, is that oftentimes that narrative, that story that people tell themselves in their minds when they're agitated and irritable, because again, the hypothalamus, they're overly tired, they can create stories that amplify how they feel, and that can lead to very dangerous places. So again, that's why I will say, by all means, go to bed angry, wake up in the morning. If you want to keep fighting, keep fighting. And then let's stick with this concept of paying attention to how you feel if, for example, you have too much caffeine or something that you're taking is contributing to how you feel. Instead of running with whatever narrative your mind makes up, step back and ask yourself if it's really that, or if it is your body feeling this way. The more you understand that your mind always wants to match your body, the more you can practice this. And trust me, at no point is anything that I teach do I say, oh, this is easy or it's a just. It's difficult. It takes practice. But I can offer hope because I can promise you that it is possible for you to practice the habit where you say to yourself, let me step back and ask myself, what's really going on with me? Is it this? Is it that? And the more mindful you are about paying attention to the stories your mind creates to match your body, the better you will eventually get at not running with those stories, and instead using that mindfulness to communicate in the most conscious way possible. So think about it this way. You're on your way to dinner with your loved one, and instead of arguing with one another, instead you say, listen, I can feel myself being so agitated. I feel myself being so irritable, and I know it's because I'm hungry right now. So to me, you look like a piece of pizza, and instead of us arguing about this, let me just get something to eat first, and then we can kind of talk it out. Be mindful that your mind always wants to match your body. And if you want to learn more about this, my book, Walking Through Anger, I talk about this, and I talk about it in detail. It might be called Walking Through Anger, but it's about so much more than anger. It's about how you handle any intense emotion you experience and how you can handle others' intense emotions as well. I hope this helps. Until next time, as always, I wish you much peace.